மதிப்பிற்குரிய துணைவேந்தர் டாக்டர் வி கீதாலட்சுமி அவர்களே, டாக்டர் ஆர் ரவி கேசவன் அவர்களே, டாக்டர் எம் ரவீந்திரன் அவர்களே, என் இனிய விவசாயிகளே, மாணவ செல்வங்களே, அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த விழாவில் பங்கேற்கிறேன். To be at this important event on a subject which is so crucial, so important, not only our country but for the humanity. A conference where we have presence of all the stakeholders, academia, researchers, farmers, entrepreneurs, industries, budding future agricultural scientists, all together at one platform, being held at a prestigious institution, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. We know that this university has played crucial role in agricultural revolution in our country. I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor and her team for organizing this event, inviting experts from across the country and across the world, and all the stakeholders together. They are sharing their researches, their experience, learning from each other and helping a revolution that is millet revolution in the making. You know, when the British had left us, they had destroyed our economy, and the worst victim was our agriculture. There are records available in our state archive, Chennai, that tells you that at the beginning of 19th century, around 1810-20, this land was the leading in agricultural production. In one of the reports that I went through, it tells us that in around 1820, in the paddy growing area, our rice production was approximately 7 metric ton per hectare. Now 7 metric ton per hectare is a very ambitious target today. In our delta belt, where we have, which is known for rice bowl, of not only a state but of the country, the optimum production comes about 6 metric ton. The most advanced country in the world in rice production, Japan, for them also 7 metric ton a hectare is a very ambitious target. But this was being done here. in our land. But this nearly 200 years of colonization that destroyed our agriculture. And when they left, we were a starving nation. Before the British came, India did not know famine. There was no history of famine before the British came in India. But subsequently, because they destroyed our agriculture, we began experiencing famine, and millions of our people, they perished, they died. I remember as a young student in late 50s and 60s, in hostels, we used to have food as scarcity. In hostels, the rice and wheat that we used to get, very often they were of substandard quality. And when some students complained on the quality of wheat and rice, we used to be told by the warden of the hostel, don't make noise. This is not yours. It has a gift from somewhere else. We used to look up to US and other countries to give us food grain. It was in that backdrop that thanks to our agricultural scientists and the farmers, when the country launched the Green Revolution, and the then Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri gave a call, Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan. Because we were weak militarily. China had captured a large part of our territory. Pakistan has captured half of Jammu and Kashmir. And we were a starving country. Thanks to our agricultural scientists and farmers, within a short time, we not only became food sufficient, but we became food surplus. Today, we are providing food to the hungry people in many countries from time to time. That was the miracle done by our farmers and agricultural scientists. Today we are at a situation when we say we, in India we don't have food problem as such. But globally, a large part of humanity is still food deficient. There are hungers in significant part of the world. And even in our own country. Because of large production of rice, it is leading to some other kind of problems, unforeseen. Today, doctors tell us that in our state, Tamil Nadu, we have the largest number of diabetes patients here, people affected by diabetes. And one of the reasons they say is that our excessive dependence on rice. But everything is made of rice. And the doctors say that this excessive consumption of rice is leading to these health issues. Not only that, there are areas in our country those areas which are water deficient, but appropriate for growing other crops. Take the case of Punjab. Punjab was ideally suited for wheat production. And for long, Punjab remained the wheat basket of India. Average production of Punjab, agricultural production was almost 2.5 times higher than the national average till 1980s. But then the farmers there, we started moving towards rice. More and more rice cultivation. Rice need, we all know, we are all farmers. I come from a farmer family. In my younger days, in my school days, I had planted paddy saplings in my field. It is water intensive. It needs a lot of water. And when in Punjab, people started moving to rice, they started exploiting the groundwater. And within 3 to 4 decades, what happened? Water table has gone so down that they find it difficult. They keep digging it 400, 500 feet, 1000 meters. You have problem in getting water. Excessive use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides has rendered the soil infertile. Today, at one point of time, the state which used to have nearly 3 times larger than the average production, agricultural production, today it is less than this country's average. It has gone to so down. So, excessive dependence on rice and farming of crops not suited to a particular climate, particular territory. All these are creating imbalance in nature. That is, soils are becoming less productive, largely fallow, and health-related complications for our people. So, in the year 2018, our visionary Prime Minister, we all know how our country is transforming every day. About a decade back, we were at the margin of world affairs. Nobody took note of us. India was considered a third world country. Today, the whole world looks at India for leadership. Leadership in solving the global problem. And one of the global problem is food problem. There are large parts of the globe where people are underfed, people are hungry. And so, Prime Minister Modi declared, he realized there is a solution. And the solution is go to our old ways, farming according to which is suitable for the terrain. And millet. He declared 2018 in India as the year of the millet. In our country, we observed 2018 as the millet year. The whole world realized. And 5 years down the line, United Nations accepted it and declared 2023 as the year of the millet. International year of the millet. They realized the virtue of it, the capacity of it. They realized that the future of humanity lies in moving towards millets which are more nutritious and more nature friendly various areas of the state. Some areas I have seen, especially go to the south, we have water problem. Some weeks back I was in Ramanathapuram. We know that in Ramanad district there is a water problem. It's like unutilized farm. And there I witnessed there are farmers, well educated, IIT, natural farming focused on millet. And it was so delightful to see how in that water deficient area some enterprising young farmers, they began an experiment of producing millet which needs less water and in a way that gives them good yield. And I was happy to know that they are doing well. Other farmers are also coming and looking, seeing it for demonstration effect. More and more. And some of them have started running a training center for the farmers. They come and spend some time and learn how to turn this fallow land into a gold mine. This millet, which we have varieties, and we are perhaps, I am not fully aware, the scientists will confirm or deny, but the information that I have is that ours is a country which used to produce the largest quantity of millets, and perhaps even today, relatively we are producing larger quantity of millets. So, for a sustainable, healthy future, not only for our country, but even for the world, millet is the way forward. We know that we have a national leader. Every moment of that leader is committed to the service of our country. The country first, the nation first, but his vision is global, humanity. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Yadu Mure, Yavaru Kere. With this vision, beginning from this land, our country, we have to save the world. We have to save the world from many problems. And in many areas, our country is showing the way. Take the case of energy. We all know that the world is facing an all-destructive climate crisis. We know that our planet Earth is heating up, is warming up. Temperature is rising. We know that polar ice caps are melting. Glaciers are receding, they are melting and receding. Rivers are drying up. Seasons are unexpectedly getting more and more erratic. some parts of the world which has been known for centuries as a cold place, they are experiencing heat waves, and people are dying in hordes out of heat waves in a cold area. We are getting news off and on, flood in desert. We know that in coming a few decades, if drastic corrective measures are not taken, many of the island countries, small island countries, they will be wiped off the map of the world. They will all be submerged underwater. This is a devastating problem facing the world. And we know the reasons. The primary reason is excessive emission of carbon in the atmosphere, carbon that we use for energy production, fossil fuel. Energy is needed for development. And for that energy, all these years, we depended only on fossil fuel. But then, our country showed the way. When in 2015, the Prime Minister of India told the world to move to the alternative sources of energy, and alternative is green energy, safe energy. Because the West, they were looking for alternative non-carbon, that was nuclear. The nuclear energy, yes, it is perhaps you need energy, it doesn't emit carbon. But we know that potential risk that it has. Because this is a power that humans know how to unleash, but they do not know how to control. They are helpless. So this cannot be a safe future for humanity. Today it might be needed, but we must be sure of tomorrow. So we must move away gradually from this to a safer source of energy. And when the Prime Minister of India, they told in the climate meeting conference in France that we must go for clean energy and the solar energy. We formed International Solar Alliance. At the time, many countries in the world were very skeptical. They thought, what is solar? So they knew solar energy. It's not that they didn't know it. But solar energy to that scale, that can be a viable alternative. They were not convinced. And there were very few takers. Today, we have more than 120 countries they have got membership of International Solar Alliance created by India. With headquarters in National Capital Territory of Delhi. And today, India has already achieved 40% independence from carbon in energy generation. Today, 40% of our energy needs are met from green energy, alternative sources of energy, safer energy. Solar is an important. We have gone towards the wind. Ethanol. Ethanol is agricultural produce. We started first, the country started with the target of E10, that in our entire petrol, which is used for fuel in our vehicles, wherever they are used, 10% will be ethanol blending. We achieved it before the target, and now we are shortly going to achieve E20, that is 20% of our fuel will be blended with ethanol that is free from carbon. We are also moving towards energy from garbage, waste. What the Prime Minister said? We have achieved ODF, open defecation free. Imagine, 8-9 years ago, nearly 60% of our country people used to go out in open for defecation. Today, it's a history, everyone knows. Now we are moving towards ODF plus. How to convert waste into energy. And we are making success, remarkable success. And we have such a target that by 2030, 50% of India's energy need will be carbon-free, from carbon-free sources. And going by the performance of our people, going by the capacity of our countrymen and women, we are confident that we will achieve this target before 2030. These are bold initiatives. And if initiative succeeds in a country of 140 crores, there is no reason to believe it cannot succeed in the rest of the world. It is not a small experiment. It's not an experiment in a country of maybe 2 crore, 3 crore, 4 crore, 10 crore. No, it's 140 crore. And if it can succeed here, it can succeed in the whole of the rest of the world as well. So, India is going the way to a sustainable future. Sustainable future for humanity in every field. The field where we are facing a major crisis. As I said, carbon, that is heating up, the climate crisis. General fitness. We know that as the prosperity comes, we tend to become sedentary. When we start consuming more, tendency is to ignore your health. And then we start having problems which are the problem that comes primarily out of our lifestyles. Sedentary life. I have seen in areas where people used to be absolutely fit. I was, before coming over here, I was in Nagaland. In Nagaland is still a village-centric state. Society is village-centric. Villages are one, which are around which the life revolves. And in many of the villages, you will be happy to know that the village chiefs, a large number of them are more than 100 years old and they are healthy. A 105-year-old man comes and gives me a lecture, half an hour lecture on how to live a healthy life. But they are also in the urban areas. Now we are witnessing obesity. Tribals are losing the life of the old way of living, and because of prosperity and eating unhealthy food and unhealthy lifestyle, more and more lifestyle diseases. Nobody knew before what is blood pressure, what is diabetes, hypertension. These things were not known before. But these are more prevalent today, and many more number of people are dying because of this than any pandemic or any other infectious disease. So, and this is happening across the world, in a world wherever there is a growth in prosperity, we have this problem. So the fitness, people to be fit. And Our country, we started a movement. Prime Minister started a movement. Fit India, yoga. Yoga, which our people have been doing for thousands of years, but mostly we were not conscious of it. Some people were doing it. It is a very proud heritage to keep yourself healthy, physically and mentally. But when Prime Minister gave a call for yoga and Fit India, the whole world accepted it and yoga became an international event. We know that June 21 is Yoga Day, International Yoga Day. So in futuristic world, how the future world should be like? Future world should be a safe planet, healthy people. A safe planet and healthy people is only through a sustainable way of life. It cannot be through a life completely driven by consumerism. The Western way of life, it has now taught us a lesson, taught them a lesson and has taught us also a lesson. So now we are showing the way forward. Because this country has a great responsibility. This country has never been inward looking. For a long, long time, for thousands of years, India cared for the humanity. India, our country, Bharat, has never only thought about us. Right from the ancient time, after thanks to my coming to this beautiful estate, so rich in its ancient heritage and literature, when I read the old text of Tamil, everywhere the concern is for the humanity, it's not only for myself or yourself, the whole. This has been the true character of India. This is what defines us. During long period of foreign invasion and colonization, we lost quite a lot of this consciousness. But then, we have to regain it. Not for ourselves, but for the world. You know, in 1947, when India became independent, you know, it was a great moment of joy for us. And by now I'm sure all of my friends sitting here and elsewhere in Tamil Nadu will be aware of something very, very significant that happened on that day from this land. You might have read the newspaper about Singapore. Because when the British, when they were to leave India, they wanted to know, will there be any ritual or just signing on a paper, 2 signatures? Because in Britain, there is a tradition, some of you might have seen recently how the new king was coronated. There was a ritual. So they were also curious to know whether India has a ritual. And when they asked the then Prime Minister, well, what is going to be the formality? How are we going to have the transfer of power? Our then Prime Minister, a very brilliant person, intelligent person, but because of his European education, English education, he was not familiar much with our traditions. So he looked at a great person, a great statesman, as son of this soil, Rajaji, Rajgopalachari. And he asked him, do we have any ritual? Because British are asking, do we have? Raja said, yes, of course we have. India for very, very long time, for thousands of years, there has been a tradition of transfer of power. Before the foreign invasion and colonization, our Rajas, our empires, emperors, whenever there has been a transfer, change, the new person has come, there has been a ritual. And in Tamil Nadu, there has been a very old tradition of, since the time of, even before, but it continued for long in the time of our great Cholas. And the tradition was transfer of symbol, which is, in other Indian languages, it is called Dharmadand, Rajdand, Dharmadand. And here it was performed, the transfer happened through a ritual performed by the learned people with recitation of Devara. Chants, slokas, or hymn composed by our great saint, Tirunyan Sambandar, one of the great Myanmars. I had occasion to visit his birthplace, Sirgadi, only a few days back. You get such a positive vibration when you go to that place, if only you are receptive to it. So, he said, yes, we have. And Rajaji organized this entire event of ritual regarding transfer of power. The then Tanjore district, currently Mayiladuthurai district, Tiruvadurai, Adinam, Rajaji approached the Adinam. They drew the diagram, and symbol was made by a renowned jeweler of Chennai. It was taken Guru Mahasanidhanam was not well. His deputy was deputed. And Nadaswaram Maestro, Rajaratnam Pillai, and his troop accompanied. They all went to Delhi, and that symbol was given at the right time, and given to Mountbatten, and from him it was taken by our priest, purified, sanctified with the holy water, and then given to the then Prime Minister of India. That ritual, somehow, unfortunately, we have forgotten. Though the national and international media covered it very well, reported in all the papers. Here, Tamil papers reported. There were not many Tamil papers at the time, but they reported. Hindu reported. Indian Express reported. A Statesman reported. Hindustan Times reported. Times magazine from America, they reported the whole event. Historian of our national independence, they have recorded in their books. But somehow this proud event is not in our memory. This symbol was located in a museum in Allahabad, which is called Prayagraj today. And this symbol is being restored, or rather installed, in the new Parliament building day after, 28th of May, when the new Parliament building is inaugurated. And 20 Adinams from here, they have gone over there to perform this ritual. It must be. But on that day, something more was there. was there. We have a great Rishi Aurobindo. Rishi Aurobindo on the day, he was a great revolutionary. He fought the British. And subsequently escaped to Pondicherry, which was under French control. And there he became a spiritual leader. On that day, he wrote his dream for Bharat. And there he said, Bharat has a duty. He said that in entire universe, scientists are here, you know it. Even my other friends have, by and large, everyone knows it. The entire universe, so far we have found Earth is the only planet where we have life. Which is an evolutionary planet, where consciousness is evolving at different stages of evolution, from marine to insects, on the land to other animals, and finally evolving to human with larger consciousness. And even humans are evolving further to the higher level of consciousness. And in this consciousness, there is an awareness that the entire world is a failure. There is one God who, after creating this universe, creation lives in every being. All of you, hundreds of people sitting here, are the same as I am. The variations that we see are apparent variation. Our old scriptures say, avibhaktam vibhaktesu, indivisible yet looking divided. Like leaves of a tree. A big tree has millions of leaves. No two leaves are alike. But no two leaves are separate. They are integrally connected with the tree. Beyond the tree, leaf has no existence. This awareness was there in our people several thousand years ago. This awareness is there amply written in our Sangam literature. And so, here is a land where consciousness is evolving towards that realization that the whole world is a failure. And that is the only way we can save the world. The world can be a failure, live like a kudumba. So, he said that this country, Bharat, has an obligation, a duty to grow to that level to save the world. And I think, friends, that moment has come today. When the world is facing crisis, be it climate, be it poverty, be it conflict and war, be it pandemic. We saw the COVID pandemic. Whole world was affected. But when the rich and advanced countries, when they developed vaccine, they raised the price of vaccine, they started looking at it as an opportunity to make more money. It was this country, our country, Bharat, thanks to our scientists, when they produced the vaccines in a record time. And now the world has accepted that our vaccine is among the best in the world. We gave this vaccine to people of more than 150 countries, of which more than 100 countries it was free to our countries. We saved the lives of crores and crores of people. This is Bharat Sanskar. This is in our DNA. So, to create a future for the world, Bharat has to take the lead. And towards that, in terms of food sufficiency, healthy food sufficiency, we have to move towards alternative crops. And that answer is millet. We all know it is nutritious. We all know they are climate resilient. We all know that they are not so full of hassles as other crops are. it's not difficult to grow them. And we can grow in areas which are water deficient. So, we have to now move towards it. And in this millet revolution, we had a green revolution in 60s. Today we are beginning a millet revolution. And in this millet revolution, India has to show the way to the world. And here, the role of our agricultural scientists in creating, producing qualitatively advanced varieties of millets. High yielding millets. Towards this millet farming, making industry to chip in wholeheartedly. Startups, our young entrepreneurs, to get into this. This combination of all is a must for this revolution to succeed. And this revolution has to succeed. There is no alternative. There is no alternative for us, there is no alternative for the world. So all my farmers, brothers and sisters, those of you who are going for millet farming, you are not only think it for a moment, what you are doing is not only for yourself or your family, you are doing a great service to the country, you are doing a great service to the humanity. Here, there's a range of issues. From while the scientists in the laboratories, they come up with the new varieties. Farmers have to produce. So the awareness among the farmers, greater awareness. The processing of the produce, value addition, providing the market and farm linkages. All these are crucial links in the entire chain of millet revolution. In this, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University is playing a lead role. I am really very, very happy and thankful to the university, the entire team of the university which is doing this work. This university had played a seminal role at the time of Green Revolution. We all know. And it is only befitting that this institution takes the lead for the new revolution, that is millet revolution. With its more and more programs, more and more outreach, I am sure what you are doing, what you all are doing here, it will transform the country, it will transform the world. I wish all of you the very best. The experts and scientists, those who have come from different parts of the country and the world, I express my greetings and gratitude to them for coming and sharing their experience, their knowledge, and taking something away from this, because I know that this place, this institution, and the farmers of this place, they have a lot to share with the rest of the country and the rest of the world. It must have been an enriching experience for all. I wish everyone all the very best. My warmest greetings and best wishes to all of you once again. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
ஏதாவது கவர்னர் சார் கிட்ட கேட்கணும்னா நீங்க ஒரு 2 கேள்வி மட்டும் எடுத்துப்பாரு. ஏன்னா நம்ம டைம் ஆயிட்டதால ஒரு 1 or 2 क्वेश्चंस மட்டும் எடுத்துப்பாரு. சீக்கிரமா கேளுங்க. டைம் இல்லை.
Yeah, I
கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி, சேர்மன் தமிழ்நாடு கன்சர்வேஷன் ஆஃப் ப்ரொடியூசர் கம்பெனி. எமது நிறுவனத்தில் 36 எஃப்ஓக்கள் உறுப்பினராக உள்ளார்கள். இந்தியாவில் நிறைய கன்சர்ஷியம் நிறைய உள்ளது. இந்த கன்சர்ஷியம் கம்பெனிகளுக்கு இதுவரை நிதியுதவி எதுவும் கிடைக்கவில்லை. வரும் காலங்களில் நிதியுதவி அதிகமாக கிடைத்து கன்சர்ஷியம் கம்பெனி வலுப்பெற ஆவணம் செய்ய வேண்டும்.
Requesting about the finance for the farmer producer organizations.
Farmer FPOs to getting financial assistance, I think there is a valid point. I think there are some schemes that means I'm not very sure how much people here are aware of it, but I think yes, some degree of hand-holding would be very desirable. And do we have awareness about what all assistance we have, what all the schemes we have?
Yes, sir. We are informing them through our incubating center, sir. And we have now joined hands with 120 farmer producer organizations. TNAU will personally nurture with them and we will inform them all the available schemes.
You know what? Sometimes I have seen our problem, not only here, but in other parts of the country also we have a problem of lack of awareness. There are schemes, but beneficiaries, those who are supposed to make use of the scheme, they are not aware of it. Now that is the problem that we need to, that is one. Over and above, if something to be done, yes, it should be, why not? So I think you can create awareness about the existing schemes, prepare a kind of a literature, share with them. These are the schemes in Tamil language. These are the schemes, and not only the schemes, how to make use of that schemes. Because when I met I meet entrepreneurs. When I met them, one of the problems they raised, they used to tell about access to finance. Because we know that for an entrepreneurship, we need three things. One, person's desire to do something. Second is how to do it, and third is money, capital. Now many of them are not aware of mudra schemes. When up to 10 lakhs rupees is free, collateral free. And even if it sinks, one doesn't have to worry too much about it. So lack of awareness. I think if you can do
Yes,
it,
sir.
do it.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you.
கவர்னர் அவர்களுக்கு நிறைய ப்ரோக்ராம் இருக்கிறதால நம்ம திருப்பி சார் வருவாங்க. அப்ப நான் உங்களை திருப்பி இன்வைட் பண்றேன். Thank you so much. நீங்க கொஞ்சம் நம்ம அடுத்த தாட்டி எடுத்துக்கலாம் இந்த questions. Thank you so much, sir. We'll take it up in your next
Anyone
session.
else?
Yes, sir. There are so many, but we will take it up during the next session. Our students are waiting. Sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.